Hello there, friends and fans. This is Grandmaster Arcturus for the Kingdom Hearts Let's Play series on behalf of the KH Wiki. This is week 2. I'm back again with Chain of Fire.
Hey, Chain of Fire here. Good to see you again.
Or here, as the turn as it may be.
Me and Titus, we are gonna do a little exploring today. You know,
here Walker's giving us a little
at the base of that tree.
Foreshadowing.
There's gotta be something there.
In the shadows. Foreshadowing shadows.
Foreshadowing there's something in the cave. To be honest, there's actually a provision in there that we do need to get. One of them, we have to collect what we're collecting today is 2 coconuts, 3 mushrooms, 3 fish, a seagull egg, and a bottle of fresh water, not from the ocean.
And that is the food supplies that they will be taking on their little journey to raft.
Yeah, last week I mentioned that we were both talking about how their little plan to leave the island wasn't all that intelligent. If only it's the viewpoint of the lack of supplies and everything. But that's exactly why.
Yeah. Based on 3 people going, you could probably survive for a day or 2, maybe.
I wouldn't even give it that. I would say 6 hours.
I think you're getting stronger. The odds are you're still no match for Riku.
Yeah, because they don't have any kind of shade on this raft.
Whipped us all.
And it's like raw fish,
well,
too.
I guess Kairi can always count on him.
Unless they really like sushi.
Yeah. I mean, they are Japanese, so I'm sure they're used to sushi or something. I don't know. Maybe.
But that's what our activity is for today. And other than that, I also last week I mentioned how Selfie would be saying something, and we're about to hear what she says.
Have you heard about the legendary power of the Paupu fruit? They say if you share it with someone you really care for, it binds you together forever and ever, through eternity. It's so romantic. I gotta try it sometime. And
I hope to never see her face ever again.
And, yeah. Basically what I was saying last week was that what she says right there is a little bit of a proof that this Selfie could grow up to be the same kind of person that Selfie is, that she is in Final Fantasy VIII. Because it kind of seems like a flighty, kind of ditzy, kind of romantic, idealist personality.
So what I found interesting about that was that you mentioned she was from Final Fantasy VIII. I didn't really look into that or think about it. But is she supposed to be younger than Squall in Final Fantasy VIII? Or was she around the same age?
I've
never played it.
It's been forever since I played FF8, and I've only finished it once. That's only because I couldn't stand it. After coming off of FF7, it was just too different. But
oh yeah, that'll do
it. I think she was maybe a year younger than him.
Yeah, so this is kind of strange looking into this world.
Who's there?
I've come to see the door.
And now we have a new figure.
Huh?
This robed figure, yeah.
This world has been
he won't actually get, his identity won't actually be revealed
what are you talking
until
about?
much later in the game.
Oh yeah,
more
a lot towards the end.
And even then,
soon to be completely
it's not even his real identity.
Well, so whoever you are, stop freaking me out like this.
It's just kind of like, you're just pretending to be someone else.
Where did you come from?
Even after the big reveal.
Do not yet know.
It's not really who he is, but it is what he is.
So you're from another world.
Well, if you played the game, you should understand. But
so very much to
learn. Going into this,
you understand.
Not playing it at all. Don't worry about understanding it, because
you'll see. I'm gonna get out and learn what's out there.
Cannot understand.
Effort.
One who knows
nothing can understand nothing.
Exactly. Right there.
And that's the entire game right there. But
actually, it very much is. It actually summarizes Sora's personality to a T.
Yeah.
Because as much as he likes to pretend that he's somewhat intelligent, he really is an empty-headed fool.
He is rather naive sometimes. Quite a bit. Often. Always. Yeah, he's naive. But he can shoot. But, you know,
he means
cares.
well, though. He means well.
He means well.
And he's always one to fight for his friends and do what he can to save them if they're in trouble. Whether or not that's what he should be doing at the time or not, because I think and the game that actually takes place directly after this one, not Kingdom Hearts 2, but Chain of Memories. You'll see that even though he's fighting for his friends and one person he thinks is his friend, it's only because he's naive and lets himself fall under control because he doesn't actually think 2 steps ahead of himself.
Okay. Yeah. But he has a good heart, and that's what counts, right?
Yep, that's all it counts for here.
Oh, and what did you name the raft? I don't typically rename.
I went ahead with a classic Kingdom Hearts name.
Enterprise, perfect. That's beautiful.
I was gonna go with Spaceball 1, but I couldn't fit it in there the way I wanted to because Spaceball is like way too many characters, and if you don't know what that is, that's a reference to Spaceballs, an extremely old Mel Brooks movie.
I'm captain.
Yeah.
And if you win,
I get to share the Palpu
It was,
with Kairi.
which is a parody of Star Wars.
Deal?
Which
The
I
winner gets to share a
which I
Palpu with
thought
Kairi.
was, I
wait a
guess,
minute.
appropriate,
On my count.
given that LucasArts is now owned by Disney,
So
who
Irish.
co-made Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go.
And I know that's a stretch. I know that's a really large stretch.
But you know what? We'll go with it.
Still as thin as the thread is, it's still a thread.
But I don't typically name the raft because it doesn't really come into play later and doesn't matter
really.
much. So
basically, the name of the raft. Well,
name your gummy. Doesn't it name your gummy ship?
yeah. Basically, the name transposes or transfers to your gummy ship, which is the method of transportation between worlds.
Which you'll see
Much
later
later.
in the game.
Yeah, probably about 3 episodes from now. And actually, if you were looking there for a second, you saw that during the race that Riku, when he landed from his, when I was running past him, you saw that he just sat there. I don't know if that's a glitch with this game or not, because every time I've done that race, that I've actually paid attention to that, when I run past him, he just sits there. He doesn't actually bother to continue racing.
I know he stops racing if you get too far behind too.
So,
That from what I've played of, I haven't played the Final Mix version. I've only played the vanilla version.
but yeah, I mean, I just see that and I'm like, is there something wrong with his AI? Because it doesn't seem like he should be stopping right there. I mean,
But if they programmed him to do that, that's a very interesting.
yeah, that's a very interesting quirk. Because I mean, at that point there was no way he was going to beat me anyways. I mean, he was caught up with me, but I knew Sora runs a tiny bit faster than Riku does. Riku just takes longer strides.
But yet he does take shorter routes, so that if you let him get ahead
Yeah.
and take his normal route up the ladder down the zip line, that's what.
And here we have our fresh water that's not from the ocean. Apparently just running water across some rocks purifies it.
Seems legit. But you can either get it that location or you can get it on the other side of the island, right next to the cave. There's another waterfall there.
That's actually where I used to always get it.
That was good.
Pay attention to this charm. This charm comes back, I think, through every game in the series.
Several times. So
it's basically a unifying thing, and it's funny because it actually shares the same shape as the Palpu fruit.
You know.
So it's
ironic. I think.
What do you mean?
Yeah, it's just kind of.
Well.
It's like they. It's symbol. I guess it's symbolism for a friendship that will.
Sora, let's take the raft
it
and go.
It symbolizes
Just the
that
two
their
of
friendship
us.
will never. They'll never
Just kidding.
be
What's
apart
gotten
for
into
too
you?
long. If they
You're
are
the one
apart,
that's
they will
changed,
eventually
Kairi.
come back
Maybe.
together and join up. They'll never be lost
I was
from
a
each
little
other
afraid at
forever.
first, but now I'm ready.
Stars are quite.
No matter where I go or
They don't come up
what I
as often
see.
as some of the other symbols in the game,
know
but
I
they
can
do
always
come
come
up
back here.
occasionally as
Right?
Yeah, of course.
as
That's
being
good.
symbolic in a sense.
Sora, don't ever change.
I'm first, of course, with the Wayfinder. Not only
just can't
Kairi's,
wait.
but
Once we set sail,
some in the future games.
it'll be great.
Specifically Birth by Sleep, of course. And the whole thing with the stars in the sky being different worlds just kind of puts that out there a bit too.
It does, yes.
But and you can see a lot of stars in a sense in other places. Like there's just something on Mickey's desk that had stars on it too. If you go back a minute, but if you look around, there's quite a few stars. Not as much as there are Mickey symbols or hearts, but there are plenty of stars in there, especially in Twilight Town.
Yeah. Of course, you just mentioned all the hidden Mickey, which is basically a thing that they just did for no reason, really. Like you'll randomly see Mickey's head, like the big circle with
Right there,
two small.
that.
Yeah, like that. You'll see that symbol, basically.
Oh dear.
Everywhere.
What
Yeah,
could this mean?
you'll just randomly find it throughout all the game.
We'll just have to trust the king.
And there it is again, right on her crown.
Gosh, I sure
So you'll,
he's all right.
Yeah, you'll definitely encounter that. That's actually not just a Kingdom Hearts thing. That is something. I think it originated in like Disney World or something. I read an article about it. So
Well, it wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me.
Of course.
so hidden Mickeys
You
are
be careful now, both of you.
quite frequent, or
And to chronicle your travels,
outside of this
he will accompany
franchise
you.
as well. So that was kind of cool to find out.
Over here.
Another kind. Oh,
Here's the chronicler
Cricket's
of
the
our
name.
journey.
Jiminy Cricket at
You'll
your
be keeping
Jiminy
service.
track of
Cricket.
all your progress.
We hope
and
for your
such.
safe return.
If there's anyone, if
help
there's
the
any
king.
Disney character I would expect to be a journalist of any type, it would definitely be Jiminy Cricket.
Oh yeah, no one could do it better. So I'm really glad they chose him as that, because he fit that really well. In this game.
Gosh, Jiminy.
You know, I
Your
also
world
noticed
disappeared
that
too.
for the Disney character
It was
voices,
terrible. We were scattered.
a majority of
And
them,
as far as I can
even if
see,
they
I'm
aren't the
only
originals,
one who made it
which
to
I
this
know a
castle.
lot of them aren't, some of them are, but even if they aren't the originals,
right.
they do
I
an
got you.
incredible
You
job
mean
of
while we're in
impersonating
other
the
worlds,
originals.
we
Oh,
can't
yeah.
let on where we're from.
To the point
huh?
where you can almost not tell
we
the
gotta
difference
protect the world
unless you
border.
watch the original source material.
But even
You're
though
right.
even
World border.
source material sometimes has different voice actors throughout.
Ooh,
yes,
yes, we'll need
especially
to
for
discuss
Disney.
when we get there.
Because sometimes they'll have sequels and they'll have to change voice actors for one reason or another. And even Donald, Goofy, and Mickey have gone through many voice actors.
And
throughout
not
their lifetimes.
only for sequels, but they'll also have different voice actors for points where where a character sings.
Oh yeah, I think the biggest one that was rather obvious was The Nightmare Before Christmas. How his singing voice was different for Jack Skellington. Was very different from his normal talking voice.
Yeah, which I actually need to go back and watch that, if only because I haven't seen it in forever. And it is a classic movie.
Oh yes, I do. I do go recommend it for those who haven't seen it yet. I only saw it for the first time a few months ago, actually. Mainly because of this game. It was one of the few Disney movies I haven't seen at that point. So, but it is interesting, and the art style they use, the stop motion, was done really well. Of course, Tim Burton.
Yeah, Tim Burton did an amazing job on that movie.
Yeah.
Then again, he's really jumped off the map. I mean, his most recent Disney films have not been nearly as good.
What was it? What was his latest one?
I know he did Alice in Wonderland, which was technically a sequel.
Yeah, that was 2010 though, I believe, or something.
And then
like that.
I think he's done another one since then. I'm not absolutely certain. In fact, I'm actually going to look that up real quick.
I am too.
Because it's actually a kind of something I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Let's see, most recent movies.
Because
I just can't wait.
I know
Once we set
there
sail,
haven't been very many stop
it'll be
motion
great.
films that have come out in a while. I think the last one to come out was The Box Trolls, and I don't think he did that one.
Oh no! The raft!
Oh, Frank and Weenie. He did Frank and Weenie.
Yes. Frank and
And apparently he did Big Eyes and Captain Sparky versus the Flying Sausage, which I haven't heard of. But one of them's a short. Apparently he's doing a Through the Looking Glass Alice in Wonderland. That should be interesting because I never actually heard that story.
And right there, that female voice that heard that was calling Sora, that was his mom.
What's
And
that?
say goodbye to her. You'll never hear her again.
Ever
Riku's
in the rest of the
boat.
series.
And
That's
Kairi!
it.
We're not joking. We're not joking.
No. And you'll never see his parents.
To the
As
point
of
where
yet.
I think that his mom, the voice of his mom, is actually uncredited.
I do believe it is actually. Going back through the credits, it is. There's a lot of things uncredited in these games, unfortunately.
But yeah.
Where's Kairi? I thought
there's
she was with
many,
you.
There's many
The
a
door
fan theory
is
as to
open.
who his parents are.
What?
None
The
that,
door is
Oh,
open,
yeah.
Sora.
Not that we'll ever. Really
Now we can
know
go to the
because
outside
we are,
world.
What are you talking about?
Tetsuya Nomura,
We gotta find Kairi!
the
Kairi's
creator of
coming
the
with
series,
us.
We'll probably never tell any.
Once we
tell
step
that.
through, we might not be able to come back.
And-
I mean, the closest we're
We
gonna
may never
get
see our
is,
parents again.
Well, the
There's
story
no
of
turning back.
Sleep, which was 10 years prior to this.
But this may be
Yeah.
our only chance.
And
We can't let fear stop us.
he was about.
I'm not afraid of the
They
darkness.
said he was 5 at the time.
Which is good because at least that makes it so that he's 15 right now.
Riku.
Yeah. But yeah, as coming from the wiki, I can confirm that there is no official source of, and there's no confirmation on who his mother is. Or his father, if he had a father.
But we don't want to start going into that kind of a territory. We don't want to
Yes.
say that. I mean, as much as he represents pretty much the Jesus of Kingdom Hearts, I don't want to really go that far.
Yeah, I was thinking his father was dead. I wasn't going to go the other route, but yes.
But there are a lot of people who would say he's pretty as powerful as he is. He's essentially the Jesus of Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, you could say that in a sense, depending on how you define both the term and how it is relevant to him. But I don't want to go into that too much either.
Well, yeah, but it's
purposes
just a funny thing that lots of people.
But yeah, it is.
And what you'll later learn as you go through the series is that there's actually the only reason that Sora wields the Keyblade
Kairi!
at the beginning from Kingdom
Sora.
Hearts on is because it defaulted to him in the beginning. Because originally it was supposed to go to Riku.
I wasn't sure if we were going to reveal that or not,
But, well, I'm not going to explain how because of spoilers, but originally, yes, the Keyblade was supposed to go to Riku, but because of darkness and whatnot, and which you could see when he went into that dark puddle, that's what that was him being taken by the darkness, it defaulted to Sora, because this is the Kingdom Key of Light.
And since Riku is involved in the darkness, Kingdom Key is like, I guess the next best candidate is you. So I'll go.
Yeah, because it can be, because I would, by the very name, Kingdom Key of Light, it obviously can be wielded by a person who wields darkness.
But we won't go into much spoiler territory about that.
Well, yeah, because as ridiculous as it may seem, I am planning to have this series go through all the games.
Yeah, that is true.
So, and we will be using the high definition version that was released on the PS3. So that'll be making it a little bit easier.
Oh yeah. I have yet. I don't have the PS3, so I haven't played 1.5 or 2.5 as of yet. That's not even released yet, but just from what I've seen of 2.5, I know it's visually stunning and amazing, especially in comparison to the originals. They did such a good job.
With the only drawback being the drive forms now, and that's only due to technology. Which.
What do you mean by that?
Well, if you've watched any footage of the game that wasn't provided by Square-Enix, in other words, like a playthrough of the Japanese version, whenever Sora uses a drive form, the player will typically pause the game for about 3 seconds, because it takes that long for the game to load up the drive form, and it's like 3 to 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Which you'll notice, but for a casual player, it won't be all that detrimental. But it's the only reason that is because of the fact that the PS3 has a not really up-to-date Blu-ray drive.
Oh, really? So is the pause any shorter than there was in the PS2 version?
What do you mean?
Because I remember sometimes it would take up to like 10. Maybe it was just my PlayStation, but in the original PlayStation 2 version, it took a while for the drive forms to kick in. Even there,
normally it should have been instant on the PS2 version, because the PS2's excuse me, the PS2's DVD drive was actually really good.
I guess it depends the PlayStation you had
and also how old
good
it was.
Too.
Yeah. The age of your PS2 could affect that.
Yeah. Careful.
Anyways.
But yeah. So for me, it wouldn't make that much of a difference. But something that did bug me about the HD versions was the faces, especially in the first game. Some people call them the default faces. I like to call them fish faces.
Oh, you mean where they're supposed to be portraying emotion, but they don't, where they just stay in default.
Yep, and their lips just go up and down and sort of kind of match the words of what they're saying, but not really.
Yeah, that I've come to know that as default face. Yeah, and it's just I guess it's an issue of just I don't know. I don't actually know how to explain why that happens.
Yeah. And I tried looking at the emotional face, if you will, the emotion-filled face, and
like you're seeing with like you're seeing on Sora. There's a difference between what you're seeing here and what he'll and
yeah, we'll point it out when it comes up. But
yeah, because right here you're actually seeing a good form.
Do you know where we are?
The good version. Like his face will actually be able to portray his really good emotion here.
Yeah, you can't really see it there, but he kind of does it there a little bit too. But I don't know what makes it so vivid in some scenes and just so flat in another.
Yeah. But there's could be many reasons. And not that I would be privy to any of them because I have I don't know anything about behind the scenes at Square-Enix.
Right.
But and I don't think many people do, other than the people that work there. But it's unfortunate that it's there. But for all intents and purposes, it looks like KH3 has finally got that beat.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have to worry about it anymore.
But of course, all we've seen is trailers, and there was actually a trailer for 1.5 where in the original game, it was the scene where Maleficent was talking to Riku outside of the empty house, and in the original game, he had a default face, but in the trailer we saw that he had an emotion-filled face, and we thought, oh, that's wonderful, they're fixing that, great. And then the game came out, and he still had the default face.
In that very scene?
Yeah, in that very scene. And they did like a... I don't remember who it was, but somebody did like a side-by-side comparison of the trailer and the game, and the original game, and there wasn't anything changed in the original game. Which I'm like, I don't know why that is. But darn.
Yeah. And right here, you'll notice that I took care of these Heartless real quick right here. To be quite honest, there's actually... You don't have to fight those right there, but you do have to fight a set of Heartless before you can trigger the flag for the next portion of the story.
Oh, so that's how you do it. I thought you just had to walk around for a certain amount of time and then that'll trigger it.
Nope, it's a flag that's triggered by killing a group of Heartless.
Oh, okay.
And then Sid will say, hey, keep your chin up, keep looking for your friends, and that's when you know that the flag has been triggered for the next part of the story.
Yep.
They'll come
Which
at you
brings
out of
to
nowhere.
us
Who
our
are you?
favorite mopey emo
And
Final
they'll keep
Fantasy
on coming
hero.
at you.
From
As
the
long as
8th
you
game,
continue
and
to
is
wield
not,
the
for some
Keyblade.
reason, the same age as Selphie.
But why? Why would it
Squall,
choose a kid like
now
you?
known as Leon.
Hey, what's that supposed to mean?
Because they changed his name,
Never
who knows
mind.
why.
Now,
Which is
let's
funny
see that
because
Keyblade.
Leon
What?
is the first portion
There's
of
no
his
way
surname.
you're getting this.
Leonhardt.
All right.
Right.
Then have it your way.
So, as to why they just didn't call him Squall, I'll never know.
Well, yeah, because they
Come on!
another character will actually call him. Will actually call him Squall in a couple minutes, and he'll be like, that's Leon. As if he's trying to separate himself from.
Here!
From the emo he was in 8.
Yeah, separating himself from his past. Because it actually goes,
Come on!
his journal entry, it states that he's trying to separate himself from his past mistakes.
This should help.
And part of that is he changes his name to Leon, using the first 4 letters of his surname instead of calling himself Squall.
And I think, I don't remember where it was. Maybe he said it in a cutscene or it was in a journal entry or something. But I think it also said he wanted to change his name to so that the Heartless would find out or something. Or it was like he was covering up his name for
Nice going,
the
Leon.
Heartless or something. I don't remember. But there he is getting called Leon by none other than
Still.
Final Fantasy VII's Yuffie.
It looks like things are worse than we thought.
I do want to comment
worse.
on the voice actors for the Final Fantasy cast. I would say they were never any better than they are in this game for at least for the Final Fantasy characters. Because Squall is voiced by my favorite TV action hero,
David Bones.
David Bones Boreanaz. He was actually, but of course, a lot of you may know him from the television shows Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel. Where he played the vampire with a soul, Angel or Angelus, if he didn't happen to have his soul at the time. But when I heard him voicing Squall for the first time, I was like, wow, that sounds right.
Yeah, it really was
right. And for Yuffie, we have I forgot what her name was.
I don't know Yuffie's.
It's... Oh, shoot. Give me a second. I've got a document here that'll be able to tell me right off the bat.
I got a wiki.
We'll see who gets there fastest, given that...
Oh, darn, I used the keyhole.
There's nobody here. Sure is spooky.
I'm not scared.
Now, what Goofy said right there was
Excuse
actually
me?
kind of
Did
appropriate,
the king send you?
given who finds them.
I'm sorry, I was on another tab. What did Goofy say?
He said, gosh, this place sure is spooky.
Oh, yeah, and it's like, by the way, I'm Aerith.
Come
Yeah,
on,
it's
lazy
given
bum.
that it's Aerith
Wake
that
up.
finds them, and given what everybody knows about Final Fantasy VII, it was just too perfect. That's just too perfect of a
It
scene.
really
Guess
penetrated
Those
the joke
creatures
right there.
that attacked you are after
By the way,
Keyblade.
Christy Carlson
But it's your
Romano
heart they
in the
really
first
want.
game.
Because you wield the
was
Keyblade.
Yuffie, and she,
I'm so glad that
She,
you're okay, Kairi.
you may remember her
Kairi?
from an old
Who are you talking
Disney
about?
television show
I'm the
called
great
Even
Ninja
Stevens,
Yuffie.
or,
Really? That's her?
yep,
Shoot.
I think you might have
I never
overdone it,
actually
Squall.
looked up.
she also, she was, if you're
That's
not so
Leon.
familiar with that, you may also remember
The
her voice
Keyblade.
as the voice of Kim
Yeah.
Possible.
We had to get it away
Oh
from
my
you to shake
gosh.
off those creatures.
Holy crap, I
It
never
turns
actually
out
looked into
that's how they were
that voice
tracking
actor,
you.
so...
It was the only way to conceal
Wow.
your heart from them. But it
Yep,
won't work
that's
for
Kim
long.
Possible right there.
Still,
which
hard to
actually
believe
I
that
find
you,
kind of
of all
appropriate
people,
given
are the
that
chosen
given
one.
Yuffie.
Yeah, and the
Because the parallels between Yuffie and Kim Possible are kind of,
Well,
I mean,
I
one's a
suppose beggars
ninja,
can't be
which
choosers.
means lots of
Why don't you
acrobatics
start
and all that
making
kind
sense?
of stuff. And
What's
Kim
going on
Possible,
here?
being a secret agent, of the
Okay.
nature that she is,
You
she
know there are
uses
many
acrobatics
other
and
worlds
stuff
out
all the
there
time
besides
herself.
your
So it's just
castle
kind
in
of
this town, right?
amazing.
yeah.
But there's
So it
supposed
really
to
fit
be a
that she could do both
secret.
of those.
Yeah, and
They've been secret
Aerith,
because they've never been connected.
is voiced by Mandy
Until
Moore.
now.
I'm not too
When the
sure
Heartless
if she's
came,
voiced anything else in the past. I
everything
know
changed.
she's more. Know her more from her
The Heartless?
singing career.
The ones who attacked you.
but,
you remember?
The
Those
reason I
without
say that,
hearts.
and
The darkness in people's
especially
hearts. That's what
Aerith's
attracts them.
is best
And
in
there
this
is
game
darkness.
because
within
moving
every
on to
heart.
Kingdom Hearts 2.
Hey,
Her,
have you
her
heard of
voice
someone
was
named Ansem?
her voice actress was changed to.
And Sam?
He was studying
Oh,
the
I know her
Heartless.
voice. I know her name. I just can't think
He
of it right
recorded
now.
all of
Yuffie
his
or Aerith?
findings in
Aerith.
a very detailed
Okay, because
report.
Yuffie's was changed as well.
Wars?
To
Oh, can we
May
see it?
Whitman, who voiced
Its pages are
Katara
scattered
in
everywhere.
the Avatar series.
But
But I
Too
don't
many
know
worlds.
who Aerith is.
Oh, then maybe the king went to find them.
Quickly,
Yes.
we're running out of time.
Those were my
Oh.
thoughts. Exactly.
Let's see, I'm pulling it up.
We've got to
Oh,
find
where'd it
him
go? There it is.
quick.
That's right. The Keyblade.
And there goes Donald breaking the fourth wall.
So, this is
Yeah,
the
by
key.
pulling the camera down.
Exactly.
Yeah, looking at the camera saying,
The
"Come
Heartless
down
have
here."
great fear of the Keyblade.
One of my
That's why
favorite
they'll keep
moments in the
coming
first
after
game.
you, no matter what.
Well,
Ah,
I didn't
Mina
ask for
Savari.
this.
The Keyblade chooses
Oh, okay.
its master.
Is the
and
voice
it
of
chose you.
Aerith in Kingdom Hearts
So,
2.
tough
And
luck.
How did all this happen?
the reason I
I
say
remember
it's
being in
better
my
here
room.
than there is because Mina Savari, her portrayal
Wait a
of Aerith,
minute. What happened to my home? My island?
it's almost like she
Riku!
wasn't even putting any effort
Kairi!
into it.
You know what?
She sounds
I really don't
incredibly
know.
robotic, incredibly monotone. It's like there was no. It's like she didn't even care. But
In her defense, she didn't have much of a character to do anyway.
yeah.
For the adaptation that she got.
But we'll go into more stuff like that next week when we continue with Kingdom Hearts with episode 3 of Kingdom Hearts Final Mix HD. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. See ya.
Bye.